The Whitsunday region has begun the difficult task of cleanup today, January 12, 2026, after ex-tropical Cyclone Koji slammed into the North Queensland coast, delivering destructive winds and once-in-a-decade rainfall to the tourist hub of Airlie Beach and surrounding islands. After rapidly intensifying in the Coral Sea over the weekend, Cyclone Koji made its presence felt late Sunday evening, January 11th, as the core of the system crossed the coast near Lucinda. Its expansive rain bands and gale-force wind fields stretched hundreds of kilometers south, placing Airlie Beach directly in the firing line of the storm's most dangerous quadrant. Meteorologists from the Bureau of Meteorology (BOM) confirmed that Hamilton Island, just offshore from Airlie Beach, recorded peak wind gusts of 117 kilometers per hour at the height of the storm. On the mainland, Airlie Beach experienced sustained winds of 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, powerful enough to uproot mature trees and cause localized structural damage. The maritime industry in the Whitsundays, gateway to the Great Barrier Reef, has been hit particularly hard. Early reports on Monday morning confirmed significant damage in the Chute Harbor and Able Point areas. In one dramatic incident at the Coral Sea Resort, a large vessel reportedly broke free from its moorings and collided with the jetty, causing substantial damage to pier infrastructure. Emergency services worked through the night, responding to reports of pontoon failures and sinking yachts. The storm surge was much higher than we anticipated, said a local charter boat operator. We've seen fences flattened, trees through roofs, and unfortunately several private vessels washed onto the rocks. While the winds caused widespread damage, the most severe threat from Cyclone Koji has been the rainfall. The slow-moving system unleashed up to 1 meter, 1,000 millimeters, of rain in parts of the North Queensland coast over a 48-hour period, triggering dangerous flooding and overwhelming drainage systems across the region. Airlie Beach and Proserpine were inundated, forcing the closure of several sections of the Bruce Highway. As of Monday morning, January 12th, the Whitsundays remained under a severe flood warning. Saturated ground has triggered multiple landslides along scenic coastal roads, cutting off access to several residential areas. By Monday afternoon, Koji had been downgraded to a tropical low, ex-tropical cyclone, as it moved further inland toward the Galilee Basin. In Airlie Beach, rainfall began to ease by midday, with patches of blue sky finally appearing, a welcome sight for residents who spent the night without power due to widespread outages. Queensland Fire and Emergency Services, QFES, urged residents to remain cautious despite improving conditions. Even though the sun is coming out, the danger is far from over, a QFES spokesperson said. Creeks are still rising and the ground is extremely unstable. We are asking everyone to stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. Residents in affected areas have been advised to monitor the Queensland Government Emergency Portal for real-time updates on evacuation centres and recovery grants, and to follow the Bureau of Meteorology for the latest tracking information as the system continues to weaken inland. Further inland, flooding impacts have intensified. One Queensland town recorded its wettest day in 110 years as ex-cyclone Koji dumped more than 200 millimeters of rain, triggering flash flooding. The system, downgraded to a tropical low after making landfall between Ayr and Bowen, was located over the Central Highlands and Coalfields region today. Peak wind gusts of 113 kilometers per hour were recorded at Hamilton Island, while Mackay received approximately 250 millimeters of rain in less than 24 hours. Although the system is weakening as it tracks northwest over land, it continues to impact communities along its path. A severe weather warning remains in place for Capricornia, parts of the Central Coast and Whitsundays, the Central Highlands and Coalfields, and the Central West forecast districts, stretching from Mackay to Rockhampton. Rockhampton has been warned to expect up to 130 millimeters of rain, while areas further inland, including Emerald, could receive up to 200 millimeters. Authorities also issued a flash flood emergency warning for Claremont this afternoon after the town recorded more than 200 millimeters of rainfall in the 24 hours to 9 a.m. Emergency services continue to monitor conditions closely, warning that flooding, landslides, and road closures may persist even as rainfall gradually eases. According to the Bureau of Meteorology, it was the town's wettest day since 1916. Residents in Claremont have been urged to closely monitor conditions and prepare to move to higher ground if required. Local teacher Molly Bradshaw described floodwaters lapping at her front gate as the rain continued to claim more of the town. Within an hour, she was forced to evacuate to higher ground. It is showing no sign of stopping at the moment, she told local media. Authorities have also issued an emergency warning for increased rainfall and possible flash flooding in the Rubyvale and Sapphire areas. Queensland Premier David Crisafulli said today he was proud of the state's response to the ex-cyclone, but warned the danger was far from over. Our message remains that there is a real risk of heavy rainfall, and that's what we've consistently said, he stated. Those very heavy rains could lead to further flooding because catchments are already full. There have been no reported fatalities from the weekend storms. However, authorities estimate that more than 40,000 livestock, including cattle, have perished due to the extreme weather. A major rescue operation took place at Green Acres near Rockhampton, where a woman, her 2 children, and 2 dogs were trapped in their car by rising floodwaters. Drinking water supplies in some areas, including parts of the Pioneer Valley, have been impacted. Residents have been advised to bring clean containers to access potable water from temporary tanker supplies. Power outages affected more than 22,000 properties overnight. Energy provider Ergen Energy has since restored power to about 90% of those homes and businesses, reducing the number without electricity to approximately 2,500, according to authorities. Premier Crisafulli praised the efforts of local communities, councils, emergency services, and the federal government for helping limit the impact of the severe weather. That doesn't happen by magic, he said. It happens because people work through the night and resources are on the ground. He urged Queenslanders to remain vigilant over the coming days. Queenslanders know how to handle heavy rain. We are a very disaster-resilient state. There is still a risk in the next 24 to 48 hours of significant rainfall in isolated areas. If people do the right thing and prepare, we will get through this. The Premier also confirmed he will chair the State Disaster Coordination meeting in Proserpine in the Whitsundays, emphasizing that communities in Western Queensland affected by the severe weather would not be forgotten. Meanwhile, residents of Marion, around 30 kilometers west of Mackay, reported rising water levels and multiple road closures as conditions intensified late today. "We are getting absolutely smashed," said Stephanie, a mother of one. "Our fence is down. Our neighbor's fence is down. The rain is coming sideways. There's nothing we can do except wait it out. The backyard is flooded. It's worse here than we expected." Heavy rain lashed the town, with the Bureau of Meteorology reporting 146 millimeters of rain in just 2 hours at nearby Gargett, near Mackay. At the Mackay Caravan Park, tourist Josephine Tobias said locals appeared calm despite the conditions. "Honestly, so far it's not too bad here at the moment," she said. "We chose to stay. It's wet and windy, but everything is okay. This is my first time experiencing a cyclone, but everyone keeps telling me it's only a Category 1 and not to panic. It's like a really bad storm that just keeps going." Further north in Bowen, residents were placed on alert as the storm system approached. "The wind has suddenly changed direction," said Karen, manager of Coral Cove Apartments. "It's been coming from the south all night, and in the last 30 minutes it shifted. It's been raining on and off and it's pretty gusty, but we still have power." Heavy rain continued to hammer Airlie Beach and Mackay, while wind gusts nearing 100 kilometers per hour struck the tourism hotspot of the Whitsunday Islands. Queensland Premier David Crisafulli confirmed that a mother and her 2 children were rescued from floodwaters west of Bowen at Strathdogie on Sunday morning. The woman had been following Google Maps when she drove into floodwater. Her vehicle became trapped, but she and her children managed to escape to a nearby home and call for help. "I can't express how relieved we are that they are safe and well," the Premier said. "In any disaster, people come first. Property can be replaced. People can't. Knowing they are safe means everything. That is our first, second, and third priority." Off the coast of Cannonvale near Pigeon Island, a vessel took on water and sank. 2 men were forced to abandon ship and swim to shore, where they were rescued. At Finch Hatton, flash flooding trapped 2 men and 5 children inside a residence. As waters rose, they climbed onto tables to stay above the flood before being rescued by emergency crews and local community members. Premier Crisafulli said areas south of Mackay were particularly vulnerable due to already swollen catchments. "If you're in a low-lying area, make sure you understand your risk and stay off the roads," he warned. Overnight rainfall totals of up to 200 millimeters were recorded west of Mackay, with authorities warning that the heaviest rain is still expected over the next 2 days. Cyclone Koji crossed the coast between Ayr and Bowen, bringing intense rainfall and dangerous conditions to large parts of northern Queensland. Senior Bureau of Meteorology forecaster Dean Naramore said on Sunday that the system was producing extensive rainfall bands spiraling around the cyclone. "It's a very lopsided system," he explained. "Most of the heaviest rainfall is occurring near and well south of Tropical Cyclone Koji. That's why we're particularly concerned for residents and communities from the Ayr and Bowen area down through the Whitsundays." He warned that the system was delivering strong to locally damaging winds along with widespread heavy rainfall, increasing the risk of significant flooding in the coming days, compounding impacts already affecting parts of Queensland. Naramore told ABC TV after midday that the system had been downgraded to an ex-tropical cyclone, but emphasized that the rainfall threat remained serious. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese also warned that the danger was far from over. Dangerous and life-threatening flash flooding is a major risk along a significant stretch of Queensland's coast, he said while visiting bushfire-affected communities in Victoria, where at least 300 structures have been destroyed. In Queensland's interior, the impacts have been devastating for agriculture. Cattle have been stranded by floodwaters on properties near Julia Creek, isolated on small patches of higher ground. One cattle producer said tens of thousands of animals have died from hunger and thirst, surrounded by floodwater and grass they cannot reach. Authorities stressed that conditions remain highly dynamic and could change rapidly. Residents have been urged to closely monitor updates from local emergency services and the Bureau of Meteorology. Queensland Premier David Crisafulli praised the preparedness of communities with past flood experience. "I believe people have prepared brilliantly for the rain that's coming," he said on Sunday. "If Queenslanders continue to do that, I have every confidence we will respond strongly once the event passes." Warnings remained in place along much of the northeast Queensland coast, from Townsville to Mackay, including Bowen, Proserpine, and the Whitsundays. Heavy rainfall capable of triggering flash flooding was developing between Townsville and St. Lawrence, while higher than normal tides were expected between Cardwell and Mackay. The Bureau noted that further rainfall could overwhelm already saturated catchments. After moving inland on Sunday morning, gale-force winds were forecast to ease quickly as the system weakened and tracked westward. However, in the northwest, major flooding continued along the Flinders River, where Gulf country communities are already facing severe impacts and significant livestock losses. If you liked the analysis in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please share this video with your friends, family members, and relatives. And finally, if you found this report helpful, please hit the like button. This helps us beat the algorithm and ensures this truth reaches more people who need to hear it. Thank you for watching.